Question 5. How did you attract/address your audience? Primary research was essential to my film's production, as it made me understand my target audience in a much more greater detail. This was done during my Vox Pops and my questionnaires. Allowed me to understand my target audience a lot better. To create our thriller film, lots of research was carried out. As said before, the questionnaires and the Vox Pops for primary research helped me understand my audience, but secondary research was also used to help me understand the thriller genre. This was done by looking at other successful thriller films, much like Seven. That was one of the key bits of inspirations that I took on for my thriller film. We also looked at all the micro elements that would make up thriller films, and we tried to incorporate all these micro elements and all these conventions into our opening sequence. And we also used other conventions that weren't exactly micro elements, like hidden identity, like they used in Seven, where you see the antagonist doing things, but his identity is hidden throughout the whole of the opening sequence. And we also looked into the history of thriller films, like comparing 1940s Rebecca, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, with Martin Scorsese's Shutter Island in 2010. This was something I did alone, but I was able to compare these thriller films and understand how the thriller genre has changed and how it began in the first place, which is argued is Rebecca. The secondary research I did was again the inspirations of a thriller film. It was very helpful, and it definitely did, as said before, it definitely helped us with loads of inspirations. Like I was saying, with Seven, the hidden identity, we took that inspiration and incorporated it into our film. We also did this with the knife that the killer uses in R1, or the antagonist uses in R1. And this can be seen in so many other thriller films, prime example being Psycho, which was the 1960s, I believe. And yeah, that was an amazing thriller, very successful thriller, and you can just see that we're trying to incorporate all of these successful elements into our films to make our thriller film, or my thriller film, more conventional. Both primary research and secondary research helped with planning the thriller film, because with primary I was understanding my audience, but with secondary I was understanding the thriller genre. These two kind of worked back and forth, because as I was learning how to make a thriller for the secondary research, the primary research was allowing me to... It helped me when I had to include certain elements into the thriller product. So, for example, the knife, it was seen in the research when I had to look at Psycho, but the audience also liked the use of the knife, which meant that we could easily incorporate that, and that was the same with a hidden identity. That was an inspiration from Seven, as said before, but the audience also seemed to like that when we did our questionnaires. They thought that a hidden identity was quite effective, and it was definitely conventional for the genre. And this was done with nearly everything. Every element was compared with the primary research and the secondary research, so I knew what to incorporate into the film.